Are you looking for a new way to meet new singles without going to a bar or swiping on your phone all day? Well, if that's a yes, you stumbled upon the perfect video because there's a new phenomenon sweeping the nation called joining a dating running club. It's a great excuse to stop gooning and under the guise of fitness, either meet the love of your life or make a ton of awkward interactions. In this video, we're going to talk about what exactly is a dating running club, how it came to be, and should you join. For some reason, people are ditching the dating apps and joining a run club. I know the weather's getting colder out now, but when it was warmer, people were strutting their stuff in major cities all around the world. Some people who joined actually enjoyed the fine art of running, while others were brutally honest about their intentions.
I don't love running. I really don't like it at all. I think just meeting a very young, fit woman is definitely primary motive, yeah.
This man has the honesty of a saint. He said, if I gotta be honest, man, this whole running thing, everyone's like running, having a good time, it's all bullshit to me, okay? I don't care about that. I'm exclusively here for the hoes. So where they at though? I'm pretty sure this trend became popular because of TikTok. On the platform, people started doing daily vlogs of what it's like being in a dating running club. And let me tell you, these aren't like small events of like 20 to 30 people running together. No, these are more like running masses. I'm talking hundreds, thousands of people running at the same time in busy street areas. No potential issues there. You see, cities are able to plan for big events such as the Boston Marathon or the New York Marathon that are organized because they have roads blocked off and they have police officers and other people helping out to keep things organized. What isn't organized is 500 people randomly meeting up during the week to run at the same time. There's no real communication with city officials to blockade streets or redirect traffic. From the outside looking in, this looks unsustainable and even dangerous to be doing this on a weekly basis on this magnitude. Honestly, I'm surprised city officials haven't stepped in and tried to control the situation yet. I live about 15 minutes away from the city, and I absolutely hate it. It's congested, there's too many people, it stinks, it's dirty, but I can't even imagine now with adding 200 to 300 people randomly running at the same time. Now imagine you're at a red light deep in the city, right? There's 50 cars behind you, they're all blaring their horns because they're New York drivers. Now imagine out of nowhere you see a huge pack of runners trying to cross the street. I would lose it. Now, I'm not here to totally shit on this trend as there are worse ways to meet new people, like in a dark alley. But I do feel like this trend is taking the seriousness away from actual running clubs. Clubs that existed before this trend. There's people that have been going to running clubs for years because they just simply like running. Not this guy. Now imagine there's a flock of new runners that are now not only congesting the streets, but maybe even your own run club. Some of the run clubs I've seen before the hype are like a club from Boston called the most informal running club ever. On a given run, they have about 20 to 30 people running at the same time. And honestly, this is like the perfect amount. It's not a small group, but it's not too big to the point where it feels like a mass migration across the city. Now imagine one day you show up and there's like an additional 100 people running with you. It definitely changes the dynamic of the club. For the bros out there, if you hate running, would you join a run club just to talk to chicks? If you really hate the idea of running, there's plenty of apps out there that can get you a date easily, right? There's the trustworthy and never at all shady apps like Tinder, Bumble, or Plenty of Fish. Besides those three, there's a dating app or a dating site for literally everyone, no matter what you're into. Are you a freakishly tall person or you like tall people? Try Tall Friends. Equestrian Cupid for preppy horse lovers. Do vegans get you rock hard? Well, there's also an app for that too. The answer shouldn't come as a surprise as to why people aren't using dating apps anymore. They suck ass. I know we don't have to really get too deep into it, but online dating for the guys is dismal and oftentimes soul crushing. Unless you're a Chad with a baby's arm holding an apple, matches are far and few between. The average match rate on Tinder for a guy is 0.6%. That is f***ing sad. That means one match for every 140 swipes. For our brave brothers out there swiping into the oblivion, I salute you. Maybe, just maybe, you'll get a hello and then no response after that. Women, on the other hand, have a much higher rate of 10%, but they have their own struggles with dating apps. Some women feel so overwhelmed by the number of messages they receive. Aw, I feel so sorry for them. On a serious note though, women have dating horror stories from using these apps and they are endless. We finally met up in person and not only was his first statement that I would look great in his kitchen, he slurped and chewed with his mouth open for the entire 93 minutes we were at the table.
Yikes! That's gonna be a yikes from me, holy shit.
It should also go without saying that women are a little bit more weary to meet up with strangers and connect with potentially malicious men that may want to put them on a milk carton, if you get what I'm trying to say. You're also going to have to deal with the fact that you're going to get ghosted a shit ton of times before meeting up with your one true love. Oh, and make sure to navigate through the scams. Additionally, from a mental standpoint, apps are known to increase anxiety and lower your self-esteem. Between wasting your time getting no matches and feeling like shit because no one's matching with you, it's no wonder people are looking for third spaces like dating running clubs to just connect and talk to more people. We'll talk more about third spaces later in the video. At the forefront of this trend on TikTok are a series of videos made by brothers like myself going around in run clubs to try to find their wife. You know, it's 2024, everyone's progressive, but every woman that he talked to was on the lighter complexion. Now, I understand the demographics, you know, a lot of the people joining these run clubs are not black people, you know, but at least find some sisters in the crowd to make it look like you represent us, you know? You don't have to be skiing down a snow mountain the entire time. I also don't know how I would feel if a person walked up to me to start a conversation and their friend is 6 feet away to record the entire moment. And as a rule of thumb for any guys out there that are thinking of joining a run club, dating or not, as Stanley said, with great power comes great responsibility. If you have a good physique, walking around or running around with your shirt off already gives off an essence of toolishness. The trend has gotten so popular that shitty apps like Tinder have teamed together with running apps to form Soulmate's Running Club. I'm tired of dating apps, so I'm gonna try Tinder's Running Club. That is the perfect solution that people were asking for. That's like saying I don't like sushi, but I'm willing to try fish skin and sticky rice with raw fish on the side. It's pretty much the same shit, it's just packaged differently. There's also a strong possibility that you'll be encountering the same type of people you'll see on Tinder, but just in person, disguised as runners. Run clubs have always existed. People have always dated in run clubs. And this TikToker brings up a pretty interesting point.
But when we think about why run clubs are started, oftentimes the reasons are community and safety. A lot of different marginalized groups, such as women, such as black and brown runners, do not feel safe when they're running alone, when we look at history, okay? So when you go out and create a run club that is called a dating run club, first of all, people have already been dating at run clubs. Have you been going to them? It's messy. 2, when you brand it as a dating run club, I fear it degrades the integrity of the run club when you're going to get a bunch of people there that are not really interested in the whole run club culture thing of community and safety and are kind of showing up to look at half-naked women running.
I feel like joining a dating run club and actually taking part in the dating process of a club like that is kind of like dating in the workplace or dating in the gym. It sounds good in theory. If things don't work out, it becomes very awkward mad fast. And next thing you know, that fun running club where you can socialize and flirt with everyone becomes a place where you're just looking side to side, looking to see who's talking shit about you next. Like I've said before, adding the dating aspect to a run club kind of takes the seriousness away from the whole aspect of running. It wasn't necessary to brand it as a dating club, but I wonder if this trend will start other activities like dating cooking classes or dating bowling leagues, because everyone knows there's nothing hotter than a chick in a sexy Charlie Sheen bowling shirt. What happens if you meet a chick in a running club and she actually likes to run, but you can't stand it? That might not be a deal breaker, but from the very beginning of your relationship, it's built off of a false premise. On random weekdays and weekends, she's trying to go on 6-mile runs and she expects you to be there with her, but you're just trying to chill. What happens then? Over time, that can cause a rift. My best advice for the guys out there is this. If you occasionally like to run on your own and you genuinely like running but want to connect with other people, join a run club. You need to find partners or friends in a space that you'd already like to be in. A good example of what not to do is looking for a girlfriend in a club when you hate clubs. You just do it just to be social. You guys may have a lot in common, but at the end of the day or at the end of the weekdays, she's gonna want to go to the clubs and you're gonna hate that. And at that point, you know what you gotta do. You gotta let that one go. Let her go back into the wild. She gotta meet her own Mr. Worldwide. She's gotta find someone that matches her party vibe. The trend of dating running clubs came to be because there's a lack of third spaces. Third spaces are places where you can socialize that are not home or work. Places where you can mingle, socialize, and find potential partners. You see, after leaving college, or as the Canadians would say, university, the opportunity to make friends, spend time with new people decreases dramatically. Unless you got a really poppin' social circle, it's just not gonna happen the same way it did in college. Yeah, those class projects were a pain in the ass, but you know what? Sometimes you made good memories from it. Take me for example, I met my first girlfriend sophomore year in college doing a group project. Yes, I got my first girlfriend after my teenage years. If you think that's funny, go fuck. See, in college, there's tons of activities and clubs to do on campus. The fact that you're forced to live with a stranger sometimes makes for good memories. Sometimes. After graduating college, the chance to make genuine new connections drop dramatically. After graduating college, your days are a little different. You go to work, you come back, you might do some errands, and that's about it. The monotony and the lack of deep connections with anyone around us has led to the rise of the loneliness epidemic. Studies show that middle-aged Americans report significantly higher levels of loneliness and poor mental and physical health than those in Europe. A Harvard professor created a survey asking people about their mental health and sent it out to 950 people. 36% reported chronic loneliness and 37% reported occasional loneliness. The study also showed that people ages 18 to 25 also felt particularly lonely in the past month. Unsurprisingly, those subjects said that the pandemic had made them feel even lonelier. Yes, we are 4 years removed from the pandemic, but it has lasting effects on our mental health. Hopefully, this trend of the dating running club is a sign that people are willing to be more social now. In case you do like running and you want to be surrounded by like-minded people, just like the dating apps, there's a running club out there for everyone. There's women's only run clubs, LGBTQ clubs, there's also black and brown running clubs, since statistically speaking, running as a pastime isn't that popular in the black community. If you see a black person running in your neighborhood, they're probably running away from a dog, not trying to be the personal best.
Hell no!
On a positive note though, from what I see from TikTok and Instagram, a lot of the content being made about joining a dating running club are actually from females looking to mingle. So that's great news for guys in case you're worried about running into a sausage party. Literally. It's not perfect, but I think the idea of joining a running club is a great idea. It's a great way to meet new people and you're being active at the same time. Yeah, being around hot chicks is awesome, but at the end of the day, it's the genuine, deep connections that matter and are invaluable. If running is not your thing, it's not the end of the world. There's so many other options out there. Start off by joining a gym. Take some classes. There's book clubs. I know I made a joke about the bowling league, but seriously, there's bowling leagues. Speaking of leagues, there are adult leagues for so many sports out there that are available for all ages. I tried it myself. A couple years ago, I joined a flag football league and absolutely hated it because everyone took it way too seriously like they had an NFL contract. Now I do volleyball. There's also apps like Eventbrite and Fever that are a great way to see some local events going on near you to meet new people. While you're downloading those two apps, check out some of my latest videos, the strongest 55-year-old you've never heard of, and how Alex Eubanks is roiding his face off now. Until next time, profit out.